still for Jamaica and Haiti, and then we do see a hurricane watch for Bermuda, as the system again could be very close to Bermuda by the end of the week. As for the forecast right now, we're expecting the rain to continue, and we lost our data from eastern Cuba. That's because the winds are so strong, but we're expecting at least 10 to 20 inches of rainfall for Cuba, and then it moves. Melissa moves into the Bahamas with 5 to 10 inches of rain. The storm surge is always the biggest threat, and we have 8 to 12 feet storm surge expected as we speak going into the afternoon hours, and then going into tonight, 2 to 4 feet of storm surge for the southeastern half of the Bahamas. So we're not done with this system yet. We're going to be talking about, Melissa, as you just heard me mention, to Alexis and Eric, till at least Friday, Saturday. But the biggest concern is that we are expecting those damaging winds, life-threatening storm surge. We have the possibility of heavy rain, gusty winds continuing to flood areas as we go into the next 24 to 48 hours. We're on the completely opposite side of this system, which is great news because we are expecting fall-like weather. Temperatures feel great this morning, but it's going to get even cooler. I'm going to have the details on this fall forecast headed our way coming up.
Alrighty, South Florida, now we're taking a look at your roads. Right here, you are taking a look at the turnpike. Right now, you don't have any accidents on any major highways in Miami-Dade County or Broward County, and most of your construction closures are starting to open up. So let's take a look right now. It is 6:20 on this Wednesday morning, and right now, things are moving very slowly in those northbound lanes. This is the turnpike near Southwest 248th Street. So things are pretty bumper to bumper. You can always take US 1 if you'd like to avoid this. Let's take you over to your maps. Things starting to get a little busy. You can already see some of the congestion starting to build up right there in those southbound lanes near the Golden Glades interchange on 95. Let's take you a little closer here to another area. We're starting to see some delays as well. Those of you who take the Dolphin Expressway going eastbound, so toward 95, just after the Palmetto Expressway, you are starting to see delays. This is typically very congested later in the morning. You can see here you've got some red speeds here coming in as slowly as 12 miles per hour. You can always take the Airport Expressway if I do expect this to get even more congested as the morning progresses. This is not because of anything in particular. This is just something that starts to happen as the morning progresses. So you can always take the Airport Expressway if you're heading out the door and you do take the Dolphin in the morning. Speaking of the Dolphin going eastbound, things look okay for now, but you just did see that piece right there after the Palmetto. Lejeune Road to I-95, 5 minutes, so not bad at all. The Turnpike to 95, 20. I'll check in I'll check in with another update in a few.
All right, Annaliese, only having an update now. Your Weather Authority meteorologist, Julie Durda. Hey, Julie.
Hi, Alexis. Eric, South Florida. I think we're going to hear a lot of those stories with roofs taken off the structures, the doors banged in, flooding. All of those things are expected when we're talking about a Category 5 hurricane with the most intense pressure of 892 millibars. It was tied the third strongest landfalling hurricane. Melissa was the strongest hurricane to hit Jamaica. You just heard Alexis mention that. The second strongest winds of 185 miles per hour. So we were here yesterday watching the system continue to intensify and barely accelerate. I brought it to you live all morning long, and now I'm bringing it to you live as the system is battering the eastern area of Cuba, right over portions of Cuba in towards even the Bahamas, starting to feel the effects of these outer bands. And even Jamaica is still dealing with some of the outer bands. The winds are 115 miles per hour. The system's moving to the northeast at 12 miles per hour, but still a very strong Category 3 hurricane now of pressure 960 millibars. Forecast projected path has it moving in towards the southeastern half of the Bahamas. There is a hurricane warning in effect for them, and then we see a hurricane watch as the system makes its way very close to Bermuda going into the end of the week, and then we finally say goodbye to it by the weekend. But the damage is already done. My reporting sites are already out where I was getting those wind gusting where Melissa is over eastern Cuba, but the rain just continues to fall. So Cuba's expecting 10 to 20 inches up to 25 inches of rain. We're talking feet of rain for them, 5 to 10 inches for the Bahamas, southeastern half of the Bahamas. Now, as for storm surge, again, life-threatening storm surge expected 8 to 12 feet for the eastern half of Cuba, and then 2 to 4 feet for parts of the Bahamas. Back home here, we are expecting a delightful change. You're already going to notice it in some parts of Broward County. We have a very weak front just off our coastline. Winds moving in from the north. Temperatures are in the low to mid 70s. That northeasterly breeze, though, could bring us a few showers hugging our coastline this morning, and then by the afternoon, we'll be drying out, and then we are expecting a stronger front to move into our forecast by tonight. More details on that because you can't wait to see how low our temperatures will go coming up in just a bit.
But this is what's coming next. Portions of Cuba are going to be dealing with these really high sustaining winds and of course hurricane force gusts at times. That's the major issue. The infrastructure just cannot handle it. And then the system pushes past and blows past the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos. Again, they're going to see some major and detrimental damage and issues as well. And then this system tracks closer to Bermuda as we head into early Friday morning, bringing them sustained winds potentially up to 50, even 60 miles per hour. So it's a major issue, a major problem. It's not just for Jamaica, but again, everyone needs to be ready to go, especially Cuba today. They're being hit hardest. And then after that follows up with Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, and then Bermuda needs to keep an eye on this system because it'll be impacting them as we head into this weekend. But for right now, of course, we are going to get you over to your regular weather, everything else that you need to know, and we'll have more on everything you need to know in terms of weather and that cold front that's coming. I mean, we got so lucky. This front essentially knocked Melissa away from us, right, Julie?
Yes, just keeping it to the south of us. Unfortunate for our friends to the south of us, but benefiting us here in our own backyard. Thank you for that, Amanda. And we are going to continue to watch, Melissa, as it's moving over Cuba. I've been talking about this system for days, and I'll continue to talk about that. And we'll have meteorologist John Gerard join us in the later halves of the morning shows. And then we have meteorologist Brandon Orr as well. We've got you covered, just like we always do. I've got you covered, more importantly, as you walk out the door. We have a cold front headed our way. There is a weak front that's over the area right now, bringing us some showers over Broward County. Guess what? All of this is going to be so worth it because we'll have lows in the 60s by tonight, and then definitely going in to your Friday morning. As we take a look, you can see those showers from our Fort Lauderdale tower camera. We have our dew points in the low 70s for Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Key West. So it's still kind of sticky to steamy out there. Winds out of the northeast, and that's what's ushering in these showers that are just hugging our coastline from Fort Lauderdale all the way in towards Dania Beach. So Pompano Beach, Oakland Park, A1A, US 1, Fort Lauderdale, Port Everglades, Hollywood, Hollywood Beach, Aventura, Hallandale, all getting soaked right now. There's a shower by North Miami too. But after that, if you go south, you're like, what rain? I'm not seeing any rain. And that's going to be the issue this morning. As we widen the view, we have the next front headed our way, starting to move in towards the panhandle of Florida. Behind this first front, though, is going to be our main focus today for the forecast, as temperatures in the northern half of the state are in the 50s and low 60s. Central half of the state, their dew points 50s and low 60s. So it feels fantastic out there for them. For us, we're creeping into some of that drier air, but there's just enough moisture just off our coastline from this frontal boundary. That's what's bringing us these showers this morning and into the afternoon hours. As we go into the afternoon, all eyes on Melissa headed towards the Bahamas and then moving into the Atlantic. Tonight into tomorrow, we'll have just the brief break from the heat, the humidity, lows in the 60s, and then we have a reinforcing front. That's what's going to bring us the colder air come Halloween. Lows tomorrow will be in the upper 60s and low 70s. It'll be fantastic. And then here comes that stronger front tomorrow. The time is into the afternoon hours, so it'll give us enough time for that fall air and cool, crisp conditions to move into our area Friday morning with lows in the low 60s. As for how it feels, still a little tolerable to sticky, but going into tomorrow, you'll already notice a brief change. We'll have those cooler clouds in place for our Halloween planner and spooky sunshine. As we get into the afternoon hours, we'll be witching into our lows to the 60s for all the trick-or-treating come Friday night. So I think you're really going to be enjoying this forecast for a long duration. We actually see lows in the 60s all the way into the weekend.
Thank you to our weather queen for that spooky, spectacular news, right? What a great forecast for Halloween. Happy Wednesday, South Florida. Let's take a look at your roads. You do have an accident here. Fortunately, it's not causing you any major delays, just something to be aware of. This is the turnpike heading southbound near Eureka Drive. You can see an emergency vehicle there pulled over to the right. It seems to be in your right lane or your right shoulder there. So definitely just be wary of those emergency vehicles out there. Let's take a look at your maps. Things really busy out here. Certain areas really slowing down, especially those southbound lanes of 95. You're also seeing some delays here on the Dolphin Expressway going eastbound. Another accident I need to point out to you. This is 595 going eastbound just before I-95. You're seeing lots of red. You have two right lanes blocked. You can always take State Road 84 to avoid this. Be safe.
I've got the countdown on and we're almost there. Oh, South Florida, all joking aside, we are 2 days away from Halloween, and it's finally going to feel like Halloween for us. We had a little taste of it today. It'll be less humid, but really tonight into tomorrow with lows in the 60s. But really, it is Friday that we'll have that reinforcing cold front moving in. We have 4 days before we get to sleep in, an extra hour. Thanksgiving is 29 days away. I know that Alexis's favorite holiday, 29 days away. Gobble, gobble. Christmas, 57 days away. Yes, I'm calling you out. All right, temperatures are reflecting more of a west-northwest wind. Our winds are kind of variable right now because we do have that first front kind of just stalling out over the area, and that's why we're seeing some cloud cover in some parts of South Florida. Other parts of South Florida look beautiful, especially over Miami. As for our dew points, we're in the low 70s, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Key West. Our dew points are reflecting that northwest to northeast breeze. So there's still a bit of humidity out there, but it's not too bad. It's not terrible as you walk out the door. What is terrible, though, are these showers still hugging the coastline over Dania Beach, Griffin Road, 441, the Turnpike, West Park, into Pembroke Park, Sheridan Street, over parts of Port Everglades. And as we continue south, there's a shower about to move in towards Sunny Isles, too. But that's about it. Anywhere south of that, Miami-Dade, you're seeing clear skies, dry conditions. Western Broward County, clear skies, dry conditions. And that's because that'll be what will happen after this first front. But the secondary front that moves in is the one that's going to bring us the cooler weather. Temperatures upper 50s in the Panhandle, low to mid 50s expected as we go into the afternoon and evening hours. For them, you can see their dew points. And for us here in South Florida, we're expecting the 60s. It'll feel fantastic. Though this frontal boundary is stalling out around, but again, the shift in the wind direction is playing a part in how it feels. So it's going to feel nice, but it's really the secondary front that's going to be rolling in by Friday. As for tonight into tomorrow, lows will be in the upper 60s. And then tomorrow we'll watch the leading edge of this front, driving in that cooler, drier, less humid conditions in the forecast. That fall weather will be here. As our friends, you heard me mention, in the 40s to start their Friday on Halloween, for us in the low 60s. As for dew points, they go from the sticky to tolerable category all the way to the dry to comfortable conditions. As for Halloween planner, it'll be cooler clouds to start off the day with temperatures in the upper 60s. Spooky sunshine. I don't think anything spooky about it, but I like putting these terms together with temperatures in the low 70s. Bewitching as we're getting ready to enjoy our evening of trick-or-treating on Friday. Lows will be in the 60s. We continue that nice dry trend as we go into the weekend.
What a beautiful forecast. Thank you to our queen of weather. Let's take a look at your road, South Florida right now. I-95 going southbound near Ives Ferry Road, seeing some very slow moving traffic. You can always take 441 or US 1 if you want to avoid this right here. Your northbound lanes, though, look good. If you're heading that direction, you guys are in the clear. Let's take a look at your maps. Lots of red across the board. You can see 75 going southbound as you approach the Palmetto. Southbound lanes of 95. The Julia Tuttle also seeing some delays. Let's take you closer to another area we're seeing delays. This right here going northbound on the Turnpike as you approach Southwest 152nd Street. You've got things moving really slowly here. Speeds coming in as slowly as 17 miles per hour. A little further north, you did have an accident here on 595 going eastbound. It's near the Turnpike as you approach I-95. This was causing some heavy delays for people this morning. The good news is the accident has since cleared, but you're still seeing some backup there. If this is part of your morning commute and you want to avoid all of this red, you can always take State Road 84. That's always a good option for you. Right here, drive times. Those of you who take I-75 going northbound, 15 to 8 minutes to get you where you need to go. Not too bad out there. Don't go anywhere. We have more on this Halloween, much more news, much more weather on the other side of this break.